Welcome to the very tough That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. All 9 of the NFL head coaching vacancies have been filled, Perna. And yet the Texans front office still feels empty. We've got a crazy day of NFL news to discuss. Alvin Kamara was arrested for beating the hell out of a guy in Las Vegas. Lovie Smith, Mike McDaniel, and Dennis Allen all landed head coaching jobs, and Kyler Murray may be forcing his way out of Arizona. Today, I'll compare Kyler to other athletes that deleted all of their social media, team-affiliated posts, and what happened after. The effectiveness of this action may actually surprise you. That's good sports. You know what to do. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped.com/goodsports. 4 million men rely on Manscaped to take care of the most important part of their body. No, not their brain, not their heart, certainly not their appendix. Who cares about an organ nobody even needs? Manscaped is trusted with the pelvic region. And you already know that with the Lawnmower 4.0, the world's finest, safest, and most waterproofest pube mower, your man Jules will have the most well-manicured yard on the block. Manscaped is not done maximizing the potential of your body. I'm excited to introduce the Manscaped Ultra Premium Collection, which includes the Manscaped 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner, which has done wonders for my beard, by the way, the Manscaped body wash with refined cologne scent, the new hydrating body spray, the new aluminum-free stick deodorant, plus this free gift, the new moisturizing lip balm in a handy 3-pack. So, from your hips, to your lips, to your frosted tips, Manscaped has an answer for your grooming, washing, hydrating, and conditioning needs. Although I hope you still don't have frosted tips. It's not 2001 anymore. So, use my link below, manscaped.com/goodsports for 20% off plus free international shipping. Oh yeah, why do I look like this? Well, because you guys helped me raise $20,000 for the Alzheimer's Association. And if we hit that goal, I said I would shave a monkey tail beard into my face. I'm a man of my word. If you want to donate, that link is still in the description. We're raising all the way to June. All right, Alvin Kamara was arrested right after the Pro Bowl. Someone had to take the fall for the effort that was put forth in that game, which has been labeled criminal. Also, Kamara was arrested for battery resulting in significant bodily harm. He allegedly punched a man named Darnell Green 8 times, causing serious injuries, including a broken orbital bone. The allegations also suggest that Green was not just attacked by Kamara, but by Kamara and the 3 other men he was hanging out with. Alvin and the shit punks is what they've been labeled. Now, the reason Alvin Kamara may be in serious trouble is there is apparently surveillance video of the fight, which occurred near an elevator, making this the worst use of an elevator by an NFL running back since Ray Rice. The police interviewed Kamara, who admitted to punching the man, and if the video aligns with the victim's account of what happened, Kamara could be going to prison for up to 5 years, in addition to serving a minimum of a 6-game suspension from the NFL, plus a $10,000 fine per the state of Nevada. It should be noted that Kamara had been booked, but not yet charged with the crime. A photo of Green's beat-up face has been posted. I'm not gonna post it here, because YouTube don't likey that shit. And the more that comes out about this story, the worse it looks for Kamara. And as new info comes out, I'll keep you posted. Now, Mike McDaniel. The Miami Dolphins have hired Mike McDaniel as their next head coach. So not only did the Raiders not hire the best coach this coaching cycle, they didn't even hire the best frickin' McDaniel. Mike McDaniel worked under Kyle Shanahan as the 49ers offensive coordinator. He is 38 going on 18. proving the future of the NFL is hiring younger and younger coaches. And by the year 2035, half of the NFL coaches will still be in high school. When asked about this projection, an anonymous team owner said he and many owners would be fine with that, assuming the 17-year-old coaches were all white. Mike McDaniel is biracial, and the 49ers have received a third-round compensatory pick for him leaving. The NFL has incentivized teams to promote minority coaches, and that if they lose those coaches for new jobs, they will be compensated with draft picks. Now, I think the football world is collectively rooting for Mike McDaniel because he seems like if he weren't coaching, he'd be shitposting about the NFL just like the rest of us weirdos.
Excited to be here. Equally excited for you guys to truly take in how physically imposing I am. So, whenever you guys are ready to start, let's do it. What do we got? You guys got anything going on? Just hanging out in an auditorium? All right.
McDaniel seems like one of those rare coaches who doesn't seem like a full-blown football guy. Like he can get and maintain an erection without wearing his high school Letterman jacket, where he was once king of sports. Like he has other interests, and we as fans kind of gravitate to that. And if McDaniel follows in the footsteps of other guys coming out of the Shanahan/Kubiak coaching tree like Kyle Shanahan, like Sean McVay, like Zach Taylor, I think McDaniel will be the best thing that could possibly happen for Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. Now, the Houston Texans have hired Lovie Smith to be their next head coach. This will be Lovie's third stint as a head coach, joining guys like Marty Schottenheimer and John Fox. In 2006, Smith became the first black head coach to reach the Super Bowl, eventually losing to Tony Dungy and the Colts. Lovie spent 9 years with the Bears, 2 years with the Buccaneers, and had a challenging 5-year stint as head coach at the University of Illinois. But now Lovie's back. He's a Texan, and he's got the saltiest beard in the NFL. That beard is whiter than the head coach Jack Easterby really wanted, Josh McCown, who probably thought he was getting 2 compensatory picks for promoting Lovie Smith to head coach. You're not, Jack. It's very obvious that the Texans were going to hire Josh McCown, then switch to Lovie Smith after the Brian Flores lawsuit, knowing they would catch a lot of heat for hiring a white former quarterback whose only coaching experience came in high school. Of course, that begs the question, why not just keep David Culley? Culley's offense did outperform Lovie Smith's defense last year, and that was with a rookie quarterback. We already knew this, but the Texans are fucking morons, and the day they start making sense is the day we should all start worrying about fire raining from the sky. That said, I think Lovie Smith is a good coach. I think he can be a good head coach, and I hope he figures out how to make it work down there in Texas. Okay, and then after the abrupt retirement of Sean Payton or stepping away from football, the Saints filled their head coaching vacancy with Dennis Allen, who's been promoted from Saints defensive coordinator, a role he's had since 2015. Allen was previously the defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos in 2011 before putting up an 8-28 record in 3 years as the head coach of the Raiders. Allen may be bad luck though. Not only do the Saints not really have a QB, now he has to figure out how to navigate the offense for at least, the very least, a third of the season without their best player in Alvin Kamara. So my fear is the Saints are reverting to the Aints, and Dennis Allen will be the man to take them down. All right, the main story. Kyler Murray has unfollowed the Arizona Cardinals on Instagram and Twitter, as first reported by PHNX. There's no mention of the Cardinals. In fact, his new profile picture on Twitter is him with the Oklahoma Sooners and the Oakland A's. Unfollowing your team on social media seems to be the #1 way to express displeasure with your organization. We've seen it happen time and time again. Sometimes it means something, and sometimes it means nothing. And sometimes nothing means something, but nothing is something until nothing becomes something. Giannis Antetokounmpo unfollowed the Milwaukee Bucks back in September of 2020, and 10 months later, he was the MVP of the NBA Finals. Safety Harrison Smith unfollowed the Vikings, also in 2020, and you know what happened? He signed a 4-year extension with Minnesota before the 2021 season. Julio Jones unfollowed the Falcons back in 2018 and ended up playing another 3 seasons with them. Von Miller once deleted all of his Broncos posts from Instagram and just left images of him hunting and fishing. That was in February of 2021, and at the time there was talk the Broncos might release or trade Von prior to free agency to save the team money and cap space. There was a new GM in town, and I think Von was making a statement, and Denver kept him. Only to trade him mid-season to the Rams, where he's now preparing for a Super Bowl appearance. So I don't know if his Instagram post had anything to do with him getting traded, but I think it signaled that things were not 100% copacetic. All of that is to say that sometimes where there's smoke on social media, there is indeed fire. Or someone just accidentally went on Instagram Live while smoking weed. Antonio Brown was a pioneer for the smoke and fire on socials back in 2019, unfollowing Derek Carr and the Raiders before going full Mr. Big Chest and forcing his way out of Oakland. Jamal Adams removed the Jets from his bio back in 2019, less than a year before he was traded to the Seahawks, becoming King Blitz in Seattle. Back in the 2021 offseason, Deshaun Watson removed any mention of the Texans from his social media, which stirred trade rumors, one of which included him becoming a Carolina Panther. That caused Carolina's quarterback at the time, Teddy Bridgewater, to unfollow the Panthers. Watson hasn't played a game since for any team, with some other reasons thrown in there, and Teddy Bridgewater was eventually traded to Denver. The point is, when a player unfollows his team, it's not always a sign that he's gone, but it's roughly a coin flip whether that player actually means business. It can either mean they are unhappy or they're trying to get a new contract inked quickly. Anytime I need money, I unfollow my mom on Instagram. 2 days later, I get gas money and a freshly baked plate of cookies. In the case of Kyler Murray, I'm a little torn. For the first time in his career, the Cardinals put together a winning record going 9-5 with Murray and 2-1 without him. The Cards have put really solid pieces around him in DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Rodney Hudson, and James Conner, who is a free agent. On paper, there shouldn't be a whole lot to complain about in the desert. But that 11-6 record doesn't look as good when you remember they started the season 10-2 only to lose 4 of their last 5 and go 1 and done in the playoffs, losing in humiliating fashion in the wildcard round against a divisional opponent. Some of that was on Kyler Murray. Prior to his injury, though, Murray was putting together an all-pro type season. 17 touchdowns, 7 picks, 110 passer rating. In his last 6 games, he threw just 7 touchdowns, 3 picks, and had a passer rating of 89. Is that a Murray problem? Was it the Hopkins injury? Can Cliff Kingsbury coach worth the damn for a full season? You have to keep in mind the way the Cardinals' defense fell apart over the course of the season. That kind of doesn't get talked about. Through the first 7 games, the Cards' D allowed just 16.2 points per game, best in the NFL. Their last 9 games, 28 points per game. It's hard to win games when you do not get complimentary football from your offense or defense. There's also evidence that this is what happens with Cliff Kingsbury coached teams. As this Pro Football Focus stat shows, they simply collapse, crash and burn, if you will. There's also evidence that this is what happens with Vance Joseph defenses. They have and then don't have the time of their life. So maybe Kyler sees what we see, and that's coaches who do a great job early on, but once opposing defenses and offenses figure them out, they cannot adjust to save their life. There was a reason to believe the Cardinals might part ways with Cliff Kingsbury, but it looks like he's there to stay, and Kyler might not be cool with that. or he is cool with that, depending on what blog you fucking read. Obviously, this was all leading up to me talking about potential trade options for Kyler Murray if it gets to that. And as someone who can milk these rumors for views, oh, I'm all in favor of getting to that point. For me, in terms of value, I would wedge Kyler in between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Rodgers will always be number one. And I think Kyler and Russ are close to equal at this point, with the distinguishing factor being the 9-year age gap, which would still be too close for Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'll say Leonardo DiCaprio.
You can just about plug Kyler into every destination that Rodgers and Wilson have been linked to. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, both New York teams, and of course the Denver Broncos. Hell, now that Tom Brady's retired, you could talk about Tampa Bay. Carolina, nobody wants to play quarterback for you guys because they don't trust Matt Rule. And shit, throw in the Vikings, throw in the Bears. Kyler Murray's a really good quarterback and would be an upgrade for a lot of teams. So if we get more substantial info there, yes, I will do Kyler Murray trade rumor videos. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please come back tomorrow. I'll have the Super Bowl preview ready to go, and check out the best and worst moment for every team from the last NFL season. That video kicked my ass, so please, for God's sakes, just watch it. It's on the screen right now.